to another room where there's more leaders, that's totally fine as well.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I obviously don't know any of you ladies. I am a Girl Scout intern at Garden City, so I don't know a whole lot. Denise put me specifically for this Zoom meeting just to kind of observe and grasp the materials, but whatever I can add, I can definitely add. But I'm intrigued to learn. I was supposed to be in keeping Girl Scouts cool, but she just switched me to this one, but that's fine because it's a diversity. So
Vicky, what's your take on that? You
yeah.
good? Ash, what do you think?
I think we can go through it for our two participants that are here. Yeah, I think we can still go through it.
Okay. I will start sharing my screen, and then I will put the PowerPoint up. Possibly. Where do I go? Ash to present.
It's in the top above insert. Do you see that? Yeah, that's the present. I think.
I keep you around.
So my name is Ashling. I'm a camp program manager for Girl Scouts of Nassau County, which means that I do year-round programming, and I am the summer camp director for 2 months of the year. And I've been working at GSNC's Camp Blue Bay for many years before this. So.
I'm Kiersey. I'm also a camp program manager. Our job is really cool because we get to work outdoors all year round, which also means that we get to work at Camp Blue Bay, Girl Scouts of Nassau County summer camp in the summer as the summer camp directors. And just like Ashling, being outdoors has been a big part of our Girl Scout experience, starting with going to camp when we were Girl Scouts ourselves, moving on and working our way up through into these positions. So we do know a little bit about the outdoors. So we're just going to talk about what getting outdoors means to you guys, what it takes to go outdoors with your troops or your girls, the outdoor badges we offer and the opportunities GSNC has, and then Camp Blue Bay itself.
So I want to take a minute to talk about what getting outdoors means to you. We're going to do a word cloud, but I think just because there's a few of us, anybody can feel free to unmute and share. Like, what do you think of when you hear the phrase getting outdoors? What does that mean to you?
Explore.
Explore. Love it.
Fresh air.
Nature walk.
Nature walk, yeah. Hike.
Hiking.
Yeah.
Campfires.
S'mores. I just always need a s'more from outside.
I think about the beach. That's like my favorite way to get outdoors.
Yeah.
The views.
Ooh, true. Views.
Animals, wildlife, all that kind of stuff.
Parks, woods.
Definitely. It doesn't have to be camping. It could be the park. Here we go. So exactly that. So getting outdoors and being in nature doesn't necessarily have to be actually pitching a tent or hiking up a mountain. It could be a lot of things. And Girl Scouts actually has this great progression chart that you can use when you're working with your troop or with your girls that takes you all the way from the bottom to that large adventure where you are, getting outside and you're having an overnight. Maybe it's 2 nights. Maybe it's really like elusive, like you never know. But to start, you don't have to start there. If you've never been outdoors before, that's definitely not where you should begin, because jumping in that aggressively, the girls aren't going to enjoy that. We had to take small steps. So getting outside, we definitely want to utilize parks in our communities or our schoolyards. Is there anywhere that anyone's been with their troops already that is outdoors, that isn't so not camping, but is still getting the girls outdoors?
My troop just went to the Shoe Swamp in Mill Neck. It's a beautiful place. They have huge fish there. They're so awesome.
Definitely. That's a good
That's
one.
great.
Anyone else?
We went to Garvey's Point to do a little hike.
Yep. Definitely. That's a manageable one, right? Did they enjoy that?
Yeah, they loved it.
Awesome. We know like it could be as cool as Garvey's Point and like actually a planned activity like that, or you could just go to a county park. Eisenhower Park has things to do, mini golf, batting cages. You could be outside in a sense that is comfortable for any type of girl. So it doesn't have to be your most outdoorsy girl. It could be any type of girl.
It could be a playground.
It could be a playground. Yeah. One of our favorite ones is Cookout. It's in the middle. It's not necessarily has to be done on a campground. You could do it in a park, and Girl Scouts have the best recipes to do outside over a fire, whether it be a wood fire, charcoal fire. You have so many different things you can do. This is a picture of our girls out at Camp Blue Bay over the summer, a couple summers ago, making pancakes, and they absolutely love it. They love being able to light a match, do all the hands-on things, learn a new recipe, things like that. And doing it over fire is even cooler. Girl Scouts are known for this recipe called banana boats. We'll definitely share it with you after the full-on recipe, but basically it's just a banana with chocolate chips, marshmallows. You wrap it all up in foil. You put it directly on the fire and the girls will love it. And it's so simple. So cooking over a fire doesn't have to be difficult. It could be as easy as that, and there's really not any way to mess it up. So if you're ever intimidated by it, you could just start slow. And like I said, there's Girl Scout recipes all over. The other opportunity is, I know some of our volunteers spoke about this already, is Possibilities. Possibilities is our publication that Girl Scouts of Nassau County puts out every couple of months, and they have a whole outdoor section. So if your troop is looking for something, or you have an individual girl who really enjoys the outdoors, pick one of those activities for them to do, sign up and get small steps outside. Doesn't have to be planned by you necessarily.
We both think it's really important to incorporate getting outside in smaller ways. That's definitely a great way to start with your troop. I know some of you are already saying that you guys have girls that are super comfortable being outdoors, and that's great. These are just some suggestions to add getting outdoors into a habit, into your troop meetings. So if you already take a movement break at your troop meetings, try and take it outside, do some stretching or freeze dance. You could end your meeting by going outside and challenging everyone to pick up one piece of litter. GSNC has an Earth Day patch challenge right now that's going on for all of 2021. So your girls could earn a patch just by doing that. Or a STEM challenge involving like a weather log or a reflection of the seasons, just anything that could get them outdoors for a minute, take a break. Does anybody have anything that they like to do with their troop to get them outdoors? Or does anybody have any small ways that they get their girls outdoors during a troop meeting?
Over the summer, we did some flowering and going to the farm to also learn how to plant and do some vegetables. So we were outdoors being exposed to some of the learning a little bit about the beehives, and they like that. And then in between, we did a little bit of like races to kind of keep the girls alert.
Yeah, definitely. A simple way to get outside that we did when I was a Girl Scout was they did a flag ceremony. If we were doing it at our school, they made us all go outside and do a flag ceremony that you do, like the traditional Girl Scout flag ceremony with taps and everything. And it was just a way to either start the meeting or close the meeting and get everyone outside and get that fresh air in. We did it in all types of weather, obviously not rain, but like when it was cold and stuff too. So there's a lot of little things that you can do with your troop just to get them outside. We have some fun games that we play out at camp, or if we're doing programs here in Nassau outside. A traditional Girl Scout game, Hug a Tree. It's very silly and it sounds very weird, but it's been played in Girl Scout troops for I don't know how long, for as long as I have known, and it's a big popular camp game. You blindfold one person, there's a pair of people, you blindfold one of them and you have the other carefully guide them over to a tree. The blindfolded person can explore the tree, get all their senses besides sight in, and then the non-blindfolded person will walk them away unblindfold them, and then they have to go and figure out which tree it was that they found. Just gets their senses in use, gets them outside, gets some team building in, that type of thing. Rock Tree Bridge is another really fun relay race type game that you can play outside, just as a break in your troop meeting if they need like a 5-minute move break. It's just a relay race, gets elements of nature involved. Park Ranger, I actually contacted some of our staff from this summer at Camp Blue Bay, and I asked them what they thought their favorite outdoor game is to get the girls moving if they felt like they needed a move break or an outdoor break while they were doing more seated activities. And they all said Park Ranger was the consensus of the favorite. So you pick one player to be the Park Ranger, everyone else thinks of an animal. And basically the goal is for the Park Ranger to tag all of these animals by calling out characteristics. So if I was a giraffe and the Park Ranger said, your animal has 4 legs, then I would have to run. And if the Park Ranger tags me, I'm out. That type of thing. All these things we found online, but just little things that you wouldn't even necessarily think of can just be incorporated into your meetings to get them outside and get them thinking about nature and animals and things like that.
I thought it was important just to talk a little bit about Leave No Trace. Leave No Trace is a national organization that supports protecting the outdoors by teaching and inspiring people to enjoy it responsibly. Girl Scouts of the United States has a partnership with Leave No Trace. They're just a set of principles that really align with Girl Scouts values to use when you're outdoors. Just plan ahead, respect wildlife, respect the other people in the park, and respect the environment around you is basically the gist of Leave No Trace. I think it's a really easy way to start maybe your outdoor journey, whether you're just going to a park or you're going on a camping trip with your troop. Yeah. Getting back to Leave No Trace, it's important to be prepared, which is why GSNC has some recommended training and some required training before you go camping or maybe get outdoors with your troop. So Girl Scouts of Nassau County has a trip training, which is recommended for all leaders before you take your troop on a trip, but it's not required. I've heard that GSNC might be revamping this trip training, but basically it teaches you about the application process and helps you think through the details like carpooling, insurance cards, safety equipment, or GSUSA's safety activity checkpoints, and how to plan with your girls and keep them a part of whatever you're planning to do outdoors or just in general. And then if you're interested in going camping with your troop, in order to go camping, you need to be camp trained. And in this training, you learn how to prepare to go to camp, or how to start a fire, how to cook on a fire, and just a few other basic outdoor skills. Right now, under GSNC COVID-19 protocol, troop camping is not permitted. So there's not a camp training scheduled right now, but typically it's either a weekend training where there's daycare provided, or it can just be an overnight with adults, and then there would be a pre-planning at the GSNC Service Center. And then last but certainly not least would be to get first aid trained. This is just your basic first aid training that you could get through American Red Cross, or if you have a parent or volunteer that is a healthcare professional, that could work too.
So once your troop is comfortable and you found what works for you and what doesn't work for you, you can also find some of the outdoor badges that might work for your group, your girls, your troop, your individuals, whatever you're working with. These are some of the examples of some of the outdoor badges that do exist. Some of them are more intense than others. So I don't know if you guys knew that there were like badges that were more geared towards not necessarily people who are outdoorsy. So outdoor art and math and nature, naturalists, those are things that any type of girl might do. And you might be able to pick up on some other interests, but also get them outside in the meantime. Trail adventures, snow climbing, the camper badges, those are a little bit more outdoorsy. Those might be something that you build up to if you follow the progression chart. I know, for example, like I really like outdoor art. It's one of my favorites because it's one where you can really introduce the outdoors to girls who might not have necessarily been interested in the outdoors. we do this really great activity where we teach the girls how to make a maraca out of a gourd from a vegetable garden, and just learn the science behind it and all of that things and the history of a maraca and all those things. But they're using natural materials. So, you know, they go outside, they pick their gourd, they use all natural materials to make the whole thing. So it is outdoors, but it's for someone who might be interested in art or history and that type of thing. So I really do like that one because it shows that the outdoors can be for anyone. Same thing with math and nature. One of the daisy steps for math and nature is really great. It searches for shadows. Anyone can do that. You could do that in 5 minutes outside in your group, in your schoolyard. It doesn't have to be pitching a tent. It doesn't have to be building a fire. Like, you can just look for shadows and outside and explain the sun and the different things like that. And then there is the camper badge, and that's more of set up like the progression chart that GSUSA provides us with. Each step of the camper badge kind of builds on each other. So you might, you know, talk about the planning stage, then you might do a camping skill. You might talk about leave no trace. You might learn how to build a fire. Then after that, you're going to cook a meal. Then after that, you might do the overnight trip that we're talking about now that you know what you're doing and have the girls have their foot in the door and that type of thing. We do offer these typically also through Possibilities or out at Blue Bay. If you were going to take your troop, there are opportunities to do them with us or for you guys to do them on your own.
Girl Scouts of Nassau County has one camp property in East Hampton, New York, which is on the traditional land of the Montaukett people. We've mentioned it a bunch of times throughout this presentation. Camp Blue Bay has a variety of different programs that you could choose from. So we offer a summer camp, which is a traditional summer camp program for individual girls. They get to participate anywhere from 1 to 6 weeks, so whatever their comfort level is. And they do a bunch of different activities like swimming, boating, camping skills, and just so much more. At Camp Blue Bay, there are 2 different types of accommodations. So troop houses, which is more of a cabin feel. There's a few bedrooms, a common room, and a kitchen. And then we also have tents, which are not just like pitching a tent. It's a platform tent with a wooden dock and cots for your sleeping bag. So every unit also has indoor plumbing. I know that could sometimes be a concern. Every unit has a bathroom. And there's a bunch of wooded trails throughout the property, and like its name, Camp Blue Bay, it's located on a bay. We also offer summer adventures, which is kind of a step for your troop if they want to try going to traditional summer camp, but they're not quite ready to do it without like the safety and comfort of an adult that they know. They can come experience summer camp as a troop. You get all the experiences like eating in the dining hall, doing all camp activities. You get to utilize our waterfront because our lifeguards are on staff for the summer. So you get to try boating and swimming at Camp Blue Bay with your troop leaders. So that's a great experience for girls who want to go to summer camp but aren't quite there yet. We also have troop camping. You need to be camp trained to go troop camping. This is great because your girls can really partake in the planning aspect. They can choose if they want to focus on outdoor cooking or completing an outdoor badge or just exploring the property of Camp Blue Bay. And then lastly, we have council camp programs, which are programs where food is provided and all of the activities are led by our staff and volunteers. Sometimes it's a badge weekend or a parent-child weekend. That's also a great way to get your girls used to being outdoors because you're with them every step of the way.
That's like the gist of everything that we were going to cover. But we wanted to know from you guys what you were looking and hearing more about or talking about or sharing with the group. So if there was a particular thing that we mentioned or didn't mention that you would like us to chat more about, we have about 15 minutes to do that. Any takers? Or just something you like to do outside with your troop that you want to share with the other leaders, anything like that.
Hi, I'm Griselle. This is my first experience year being a leader. I'm a co-leader.
Yeah.
And we're doing a Daisies group. So I was just looking forward to like learning about more ideas on how to get the girls outside. So I don't have any ideas to share, but you know, if you guys have any suggestions specifically for Daisy troops, that could be helpful for me.
Definitely.
I think right now in possibilities, there's actually an opportunity to do the Daisy Eco Learner badge, which would be a badge that got the girls outdoors if you're looking for them to earn a badge right now. Kirsty, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I was going to suggest the Daisy Eco Learner badge. You could do it through possibilities, or you and your co-leader can take that on as something that you guys plan and do by yourself. We've actually ran that one, so the steps for it are really simple, and Daisy Eco Learner has a lot of different outlets that you can take. So you don't necessarily have to dive right into being outside the whole time. There's a lot of learning and educational things that go into it, and learning about protecting the earth. That's definitely a good one for daisies. Daisies aren't necessarily permitted to come to Camp Blue Bay. So before you do those types of things, there's a lot of parent hands-on activities. I know some of the ratios are one-on-one for daisies. So if they were to come to camp, it would be with their parents. So it's something you might want to talk about with your girls' parents and say, like, are you interested in traveling out to our camp properties with the girls, getting them involved in those types of things, taking them to a local park and letting them walk around. Look up trails that are low mileage. There is a trail adventure even for daisies. I believe they only have to walk a mile. So you can look at county parks, have small trails and things like that, and just take them outside and, you know, print out a scavenger hunt for them to do. They love getting their hands on.
Valley Stream State. Sorry, Kirsten.
Yeah. No,
I was gonna say Valley Stream State Park has a really nice short trail that we did at Girl Scouts Love State Parks Day a few years ago. That was great for all ages. The daisies had a lot of fun on it. So
yeah. Binoculars, magnifying glasses. They're going to want to pick up the bugs, create a bug home and, you know, an exhibit for them. And they're going to want to keep the bugs and things like that. Anything they can touch.
Thank you.
Problem. Anyone else want to share? Is there anyone who had a daisy troop that did something really great outdoors that they could share? Or
This is my second year as a Daisy troop leader. Last year we had gone to Sands Point Preserve and we did the outdoor art maker badge. It was really so much fun. And there's a lot of different places you can go on that property too, with small trails and down to the beach.
awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Anything else you want to talk about or share?
Our troop recently went to the Nassau County Museum of Art, and we basically brought our daisies and just did a scavenger hunt there and looked at some of the artwork, and then did a quick little stroll, and even did some arts and crafts, like try to do a birdhouse, and the girls had a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was another activity we just did.
And you don't have to worry about weather either. I feel like people are hesitant to, like, the outdoors are only for the good seasons, you know, spring and summer, but there's a lot of fun outdoor activities that you could do in the fall and winter that, like you said, it's just a quick stroll, you know, bundle up, put your hats on. It could be anything. It could be added into a trip to a museum. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about any of the things that are being offered or the trainings or anything like that? Or if anyone's interested in attending anything?
So other than like the summer camp stuff, do you guys have like larger scale outdoor events that other troops can join and meet other troops to learn about other activities and mingle? Or, I mean, I know COVID is has complicated many things, but I was just wondering if there were plans or
So typically, those would have been referred to as our council camp programs, where a troop or individuals can register as troops or individuals. So if you're able to get your hands on an old brochure from Camp Blue Bay, you'll see that there's a whole section called council camp programs. Ideally, that section will be brought back in our brochure in January, and they're typically in the spring and fall, and usually the end of summer as well. And those council camp programs are for all of Girl Scouts in Nassau County. And like I said, it could be an individual registration or it can be a troop registration. And I think Aspen talked about it a little bit more. It could be badges or it could be themed events. Ashley, what are some of the ones that we've had in the past?
We've had a give back, get back weekend, which was you got to do a community service project, and then you got led to do a craft of some sort. We've had a fall festival weekends and Halloween weekends that are more themed. People get to bring their costumes. We had a weekend for the centennial where we made the first Girl Scout cookie recipe. Right now, though, our council camp programs are parent-child style because of COVID.
Yeah, there's no troop overnights allowed right now, but these that we were just talking to were some where you would get to meet other troops from other service units and things like that.
Also,
the larger group activities take place in our activity building, in our great rooms. So, you know, we love a good dance party, so everyone can mix and mingle. And I feel like that's a great way to get girls to meet other girls. And then all of the meals are together too. In the warmer months, it's in our dining hall, which is used for our summer camp. And then in the colder months, it's in our indoor heated building, in the activity building, but everyone gets to mix and mingle. So there are definitely activities for you to look out for. We're really hoping to bring them back for 2022.
I would also keep an eye out for when troop overnights are allowed again. A lot of associations choose to do an association weekend where you would get to meet other troops from within your association, and they all go out to Blue Bay together for a weekend and do different workshops.
I did that. I loved it.
I also went on association weekends.
Anyone else have any questions? I want to share fun activity.
And I was wondering, thank you for that information. Do you guys like have I'm sure you do, but I may have missed it because I joined late, but like where on the website, where do you have like a list of recommendation of activities? I mean, definitely what I heard about introducing all those badges, but if you wanted to like, you know, dig in and look at some of the recommendations that you guys propose, like where would that be housed, if you cover that already or not?
All of this information is going to be compiled and sent to you after the event. So any of the things specifically that we talked about, you'll receive. But the GSNC website is a really great place to find activities. You can use the search feature, and GS Events as well, which is up and coming. That has a lot of programs on it, as well as Possibilities. The publication that we put out has a whole outdoor section. I could probably jump back to that slide and show you some of the ones that are what that looks like. Yeah, this is Possibilities. This is a page from it, and that's the whole outdoor section. So this is what was being offered in the current Possibilities for all the fall activities that are outdoors and things like that. Also, if you go on the website, you can search outdoors in the badge section of the shop, and it'll come up with all the outdoor badges.
Thank you.
No problem. Has anyone done a badge that they really enjoyed? I know mostly Daisy's here. There's that new Daisy badge that I'm really excited to introduce, Math and Nature. At Blue Bay, we've been having a lot of STEM activities the past, I would say 3 years. I think we've really started them strong in 2019, bringing STEM into camp. And we were a little hesitant at first because camp is supposed to be when they get outdoors and when they do things like that. And it took a lot from us to sell it to a lot of our other staff to say like, no, you can do math and science and technology like outdoors. and finding that like connection between the two, whether it be how leaves change colors or asking what's it, how like snow. We made snow and it was so fun, and they learned about weather and they went outside and temperature and things like that. So I'm really excited to check out the new math and nature ones for all levels.
My favorite badge I've done is the Daisy Eco Learner badge. There's a really cool step where they get to create a character and tell a trash tale to teach themselves and their friends and their family about how pollution could affect this outdoor character that they've created, like a butterfly or a flower.
I'm sure you
It's a fun
know
watch.
because you work with daisies more than I do, I'm sure. But the stories that they will come up with and the effect I think that learning about the environment has on them was so much more than I ever thought. They got it right away. They were like, yes, this plastic bag is going to affect my butterfly from flying from place to place. And it was really cool to see them learn that and get that experience, because protecting the environment is super important part of Girl Scouts. We're just about finished. Does anyone else have anything they want to share or hear?
This was very informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for everyone for listening.
Is there someone that feels comfortable doing a recap? Yeah. No worries. We'll figure it out.
Small group.
Small group. Just about done. Have any of you been out to Blue Bay? Has anyone seen the property?
No.
No. It's great. It's 179 acres, 2 waterfronts, any type of camping for anyone. Like we said, indoor, outdoor. So super great. Obviously started at a park, but we're next and we'll be there. So great. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to see